Yeah, well, our good certainly appears good enough, but our not so good's a bit too far away, and the better sides, the higher ones on the ladder that probably make the games a little bit easier, do that part a little bit better. So if we can bridge that gap up a bit, we look like we've slowly got a footy team coming together.
Nice to show some fighting spirit though, to come back from 14 points down.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, it was great, Baz. And as I said, with Junior there controlling the play and kicking the ball, if the blokes in and around him do a reasonable job, as I said, we appear like we've got a team that's developing,
What do you want to see from the boys to get that not so good up a bit higher?
Oh, look, a little bit of it's obviously defensive based and just a bit more game awareness for some of the guys, So obviously we started the second half with a good defensive set, very good attacking set, great kick by Junior, and young Corey Dennis tackles him in the air he was never going to get there, and those things, they just kill you, So we don't make it hard enough for the opposition regularly enough, and the good sides make the game really, really hard for the opposition, and so we need to certainly get those awareness things a little bit more consistent, and and when our defence mattered the most in the last sort of 20 minutes, we came up really, really well, but we still have those periods where it's not one try, but it's two tries. And sure, there was a bit of bad luck bouncing off legs and that type of stuff, but that's something that we need to get better at, I think. And we did it reasonable against Parramatta last week. Off the back of a try, then defend them well, and then winning the arm wrestle again. Making the game a tough contest for the opposition. But as I said, we're certainly starting to win a couple of games, and with Junior back, that obviously makes the game a bit easier for the rest of the blokes.
Mitch, how are you finding the combination with Connor going?
Yeah, I think Connor was the best player in the field tonight, especially we weren't as good in defence, so I thought we needed some attacking brilliance to get us over the line. I thought Connor's speed was one of the main reasons. I thought Danny played really well as well, but I thought Connor's speed, running 5'8", real threats in the game, and Connor was one of our best players, I thought.
What about Nick Meaney? He was a lot more involved this week.
Yeah, for his second game, he's got a real mature head. His talk picked up again from last week. I thought he was really good on his debut, but he was calling plays and come up with a few line breaks, and I think he might have got a try there or set up a couple, so he was really impressive.
Junior Connor cops a bit of criticism for not being much of a ball player, but he certainly came up with a clutch pass tonight to win you the game, basically.
Yeah, well, he's got a pretty handy attacking coach here with Brownie that I think slowed his ball playing up a lot, and I think you've just said it yourself, but I think everyone's starting to see Connor's game evolving as a ball player. He's obviously a natural runner, and I think the best ball players are natural runners first, so he's only going to evolve, and Brownie's obviously been doing a lot of work with him with slowing his feet up and his pass selection, and he won us the game tonight.
Brandon, just back on Nick Meaney, could well be his last game for Newcastle in the NRL. It's a pretty decent one to go out on if it is.
Yeah, look, the pleasing thing from my point of view personally is that Nick last week was a bit, he got through he played to get through the game, where today he actually made a difference, and that shows the confidence from game 1 to game 2, and I would expect if he played next week, I would expect Nick to play better again next week, but obviously if Caelan's fit, Nick probably won't find himself at fullback for obvious reasons, but if that is his last game, I'm sure Canterbury, Dean Poe would have been watching and would have been rather impressed. Again, we weren't dominant at times, and he came up with some his positional play. He's done a lot of work with Mick Potter, who teaches the outside backs as good as anyone, and his positional play, his defensive part of the game for a young fullback is very, very good. And as Junior said, he came up with a few plays tonight, and if he played again next week, I would expect that he would back himself more and go better again. But look, we had a lot of confidence in Nick, but we're losing a good player because we've got probably a better one, that's when you want to lose him.
Is there any way you can maybe get Nick in the team on the wing or something like
That's
that?
definitely something we can look at, Rob. Definitely, and we sort of spoke to Nick before he left to Canterbury about the possibility of having, trying him in the centres and the wing, and but fullback was his dream position, and as we said, it's not going to happen at this club in the shorter part of your career. So, Canterbury was certainly a good option for him, but it is something that we'll look at, and there's no reason why he couldn't do it and do a good job.
Was it a conscious thing when AJ Brimson went off to send the attack down the right edge? From a perspective?
We'll say it was.
Yeah. Just two of those down that right edge.
Yeah, 100% it was.
We hope your more experienced players naturally get into the areas where the game is, isn't it? That's, AJ going off obviously has an effect on them, and you get people start playing out of position, and it makes the game hard. We saw last night Wade Graham go off for Cronulla. What effect that had on Cronulla? When people lose good players, it can make the game a little more difficult. Especially if the opposition are throwing some stuff at you. Which Canberra did last night, and Junior did today for the coast. So we all need that little bit of luck to go our way. To win. We saw the game last night. It's a fine line in the NRL, and you get a little bit and take advantage of it, and you're happy. You get a little bit of bad luck, or you don't take advantage of it, then you got the upside down smile haven't you, when you go home tonight. Doesn't look as good.
Mitch, you probably haven't thought about it yet, but next week you play Jonathan Thurston for the last time in your career. What is that going to mean to you?
Mate, it'll be a great honour. It's always great coming up against great players, and Jonathan Thurston's probably the greatest. I always enjoy coming up against the best, and I have to shake his hand at the end of the game and congratulate him on what a great career he's had.
Send him out a loser.
What's that?
And try and send him out a loser.
Listen to you guys.
Cass is looking for a headline.
Yeah.
You said this back end of the season was about building the combinations looking next year. Are you happy with what you've seen the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, well, we've won 2 games, and you've got to take into account we have beaten 2 sides that are below us on the ladder. But on both occasions, we come from beyond on the scoreboard, which gives us some good credibility as well. And the pleasing thing for me tonight, the most pleasing thing, because we know Junior's a very good player. We know Kalen Ponga's a good player. We knew what we were buying in Connor. This club's going to the promised land is going to be come about by Daniel Safidi, Danny Levo, Lockie Fitzgibbon, Mitch Barnett, because Jesse Remian's a damn good player, isn't he? Tim Glasbury's playing for Queensland. He's a damn good player. Edric Lee's a leading try scorer. We're bringing in good players, and we know they're going to play well. The rise is going to come from what the kids do that come through this system. And if you watch the game pretty closely today, all those blokes I just said contributed very, very big to our win, and they need to take their games consistently to a good level, because the other bloke's going to play good, and that's why we're bringing them to the club.
Lockie Fitz playing himself back into the starting side?
Well, he played well, Lockie. He had a good game. His form dipped a little bit, Lockie. He's had a good start to the year, and it's the first time he's started a year in first grade and starting games and playing 80 minutes, and he's lost a bit of weight, and his form dipped a bit, got suspended, and had the time off. He only missed 2 games. We had 5 weeks off, so he's put his weight back on, freshened up a bit, and tonight I thought he was pretty fair tonight. He had a good impact on the game for us, But all those guys I just mentioned, Danny Levi's last 2 games have been by far his best for the club. His ability to play for the team and make other people look good has been great, And again, we need these blokes to keep getting better and better, because the blokes that we've brought in and the blokes that are coming are playing very good for teams that are in the sort of top 4 or 5 teams in the competition.
Mitch, do you look at the points table at all and think you are some chance of making the finals?
It's obviously something that you pay attention to. The whole idea of rugby league's to win games. So I think it's something that we've spoke about more so than the bigger picture. We've just been talking 1 week at a time and setting our week up, and everything we attack the game with as a winning attitude. And I think that coaches have set that up at the start of the week, and as players, as senior players, we're trying to drive that to the younger group, that results will take care of themselves if we're having a winning attitude in everything we do. And I think it's starting to show. We've got 2 wins the last 2 weeks in some uncomfortable situations, and there's plenty of stuff to work on. But yeah, rugby league's about winning, and we've had 2 wins, so just trying to make that a habit.
Just need another 6 more or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
5 might do.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a goal. We're always motivated as anyone here. We all want to win. But I think what we just said there is, I think if you focus 1 week at a time and build the week as well as we can at training, and we've got Cowboys this week, and we'll see how we go.
You got out with no injuries, Brandon?
I thought that last week, Baz, and Sione was out, so as it stands at the moment, I think we're okay, but I'm not going to jump the gun.
Thanks, guys.